This is TWiT.
This week, Microsoft announced their purchase of virtual reality social network AltSpace VR, saving the company from shutting down. Joining us to talk about the news is Katie Kelly from AltSpace and now from Microsoft. Welcome to the show, Katie.
Hi, it's very nice to be here.
So I spent some quality time in AltSpace VR. I hung out by a virtual fire. I chatted with some people and a robot bee. For those people who don't know what AltSpace VR is, can you give us a little explanation about what it is?
Of course. AltSpace VR is a social VR platform. So it's basically a lot of different things, but our main goal is to be a very friendly, inviting place for people to hang out in virtual reality. So we do everything from live events, which we've done with amazing comedians like Reggie Watts and Drew Carey. And then we've also partnered with NBC to do live streams of the debates and brought in some of their talent to do live shows in VR and live news events. And then we do simple things like meetups. We have an LGBT meetup that meets up once a week with people all over the world. And it's just a great place to connect in virtual reality.
So what kind of hardware do you need to participate?
So we're cross-platform. It's very integral to who we are. So we work on Vive and Oculus Rift and Daydream and Samsung Gear VR. And you can also access us via 2D on PC and Mac.
So like I said, I spent some time there, and what I noticed mostly was the people that just felt really comfortable there. It was definitely a community. I felt that right away. People understood each other. They were really welcoming also. And right after I spent that time, the news hit that you guys were shutting down. Can you tell us about that?
Oh my, it's been such a roller coaster. Palmer Luckey tweeted 2 days ago that he thought it was the biggest tech turnaround in history. I mean, I don't know if we're quite that far, but it was definitely a roller coaster. So what happened back in early August, we found out that we had to close down. We had run out of funding and unfortunately had to shut the doors, and we told our community, and it was terrible. We had people that had met their friends, had met their partners, had come just for a place to hang out in virtual reality, and they had to say goodbye to their home, and we had to say goodbye to our jobs in a place we loved. And then we shut the doors. But AltSpace kept going. We tried to keep it alive as much as we could. And then we found out just very recently that Microsoft has acquired us, and we had a welcome back event in AltSpace where there were hugs and tears and screams, and it was just such a joyful celebration that we tried so hard to be the pioneers in virtual reality. And the community's response after we shut down, and they took to Twitter, they took to Facebook, just talking about how much they loved it, and people noticed. And so our team connected with Alex Kipman over at the mixed reality team over in Microsoft, and he just shared our vision and really wants to keep the community alive. So we get another shot, and I'm so ecstatic. And I lead the engagement team at AltSpace. So my job is really to make an awesome experience for our community and our users. So I'm so excited I get to keep doing that.
That's so great. I mean, that must be such, we think about this so much in this industry that's just moved by money and, not by the people using the products. But this is an example of it really being like, hey, this is our community. This is our town square. Don't shut it down. That's great.
Exactly.
I do have a question, though. You said there were tears. Are there tears in AltSpace? Can you cry? And is there a difference between sad tears and tears of joy?
Oh my goodness, there's so many ways to express emotions in AltSpace. We have emojis that you can choose from a variety of different emotions, but we do have a little sad face that comes up, and that one came up a lot when we were closing down. But we also have hearts and claps and plenty of ways to show jubilant emotions too.
So how do you think things are going to change? Did everyone on your team move over to Microsoft?
No, so it's a solid group of us across the team that will be going up to Redmond. And the biggest thing that I was really excited about from the Microsoft side is that they want AltSpace VR to stay AltSpace VR. So really our main task over the next couple of months / next year is to make sure that we keep the community alive and vibrant and do all the things that we were doing before that just made us stand out, and hopefully just do more of it. So tons of great events, amazing meetups, and getting our community really jazzed to come back.
I mean, I look at the way, Microsoft bought Minecraft, I think in 2014, and they've really left them alone in a lot of ways. They promoted them. They've arguably, done some great things that Minecraft might not have been able to do on their own. Is that what you're hoping for AltSpace VR?
I think everything they've communicated to us so far has been that they love what we did and they want to keep that going. So I think we have a lot of freedom right now to just use their resources and their amazing expertise. I mean, our resources, our amazing expertise. So excited I'm a part of that team, to again, do what we were doing before and just do it more, do it better. And yeah, it's really exciting.
So I know diversity and inclusion is really important to you, especially in VR. And I've talked to some women in VR who say, this is a great opportunity because it's a new space. So it's not already been completely taken over by men. It's a world in which women can really thrive. Have you seen that?
Well, it's definitely a new frontier, and that's one reason that I definitely wanted to get in, especially with the fact that nobody knows what this technology is going to be yet. So we might as well have as diverse of participants as possible to make sure that technology relates to everybody. So yeah, I think with AltSpace VR, especially because we're a social platform, we are only as good as the diverse amount of amazing people that are in our service. So when it comes to moderation and fostering a good community through having really strong community standards, we have 24-hour customer support team members that are always in AltSpace. And again, we're ramping that up to make sure that there's somebody that's always there that you can talk to and communicate with and can hopefully help to promote like a really awesome place that you want to be. And it works. And especially too, the fact that we are cross-platform, that we work on mobile headsets. So Daydreaming Gear VR users can hang out with Vive and Oculus users. That creates like this whole varied degree of people that you're going to meet. You're going to meet somebody from across the world. You're going to meet somebody that has a different life story than yours, and you're going to engage and talk. Like we had a conversation after the election last year, the day after, and we invited everybody in our community to come and just talk about their feelings. And it was people from across the spectrum of political beliefs, and they talked. It was amazing. If anything, I left the thing feeling like we were all in this together. And so I feel like we have the chance with all our different events and all our different diverse community members to create a really exciting universe where you can actually step outside your bubble.
And so what about trolls? I know that AltSpace VR is relatively anonymous, and anonymity often causes trolls to thrive. How is trolling different in VR than it is, say, like on Twitter or Facebook? Well,
anonymity is really interesting in VR because you feel like you are actually there. So you feel like a person. So you're already kind of embodying this physical space that you don't normally feel on a YouTube comment section. So what we found is that when people are in VR, they actually do feel like a person. And the culture in AltSpace, when you go in, you go to our campfire spaces, which is one of our main kind of hangout spaces, there's going to be a community of people there that are kind of already creating I guess a culture is kind of the best way to state it. So as soon as you go to a bar or you go to a park, in the real world, you're going to look for what the society is kind of expecting of you. And we find that in AltSpace, because our community is really positive, that people that go in there, they want to fit in, they want to make friends. So in general, we found that people want to be kind and welcoming so that they can fit in and they can also feel like they can create friends. So the trolls definitely exist. They're definitely there. And I think we do a couple things to make sure that that people have tools at their disposal to address trolls. So you have a mute button that you can mute any user that you would rather not hear from. You can block somebody so that you no longer see them and they'll no longer see you. We have the moderation team that you can go and talk to. We have a support kind of hotline or ticket center where you can submit any problems that you have. So we have a couple different ways so that you can try to create a really awesome experience around you. But even outside of that, again, the community itself is creating the community around it that is really positive.
Can you talk about the personal space bubble a little bit that you created?
Yeah. Oh, good. You mentioned one I forgot. So yeah, personal space bubble. That was one of the first things that we created. It was actually really cool too because it was a team of women predominantly that built that feature, especially when we saw that this was affecting a lot of our female users. So it was a female engineer, female PM, and a female head of product. And then I was really integral because I cared about this problem a lot. So we really thought about like, how do we create an awesome experience? And if somebody is constantly getting into your space, it's not going to be an awesome experience anymore. So we created a bubble that's about probably an arm's length that you can turn on is automatically turned on when you come into AltSpace VR so that people can only get so close to you. But if you're around friends, and we have plenty of different ways that you can engage with your friends by either creating friend-only spaces or you can friend people so that you can always like be around the people that you have a relationship with, then you can turn off your space bubble and you can kiss on the cheek or high five, like all these different interactions that you choose to have with people that you feel comfortable with.
So if people are excited and they want to join the community, where do they go?
So altvr.com has all the information that you need. And if you have a Vive, a Rift, a Daydream, or a Gear VR, you can go to the store and type in AltSpace VR. And you'll see that. And then as soon as you sign up, you can always opt out. But if you choose to get our newsletter, we'll send out once a week and you'll get it right from me. And we'll tell you about all the cool stuff that's going on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Katie Kelly is a senior program manager at AltSpace VR, and she is OK Katie K on Twitter. Thanks for coming on.
It was nice meeting you. Thank you so much.